Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Aaron the Black Dragon.
And Joe Garan, hello.
And welcome back to the Mario Kart podcast. I like to just call it that by now.
Yeah, so these are the two download cups they released now very recently. So we're gonna play through them.
Yeah. And we actually have a topic for today's episode, which we kind of started to talk about before we sat down, and I was like, you know what, we just keep that because this is our podcast, so let's just talk about that while we are recording it.
Yeah.
It does not feel out of place because, I mean, we wanted to do this like, talk about whatever, which we technically could start to grab onto the Mario movie again, but that's not the main topic as of now. We can come back to that later on as well, because that's also really relevant right now. On Kart, everyone.
Because the thing we started talking about was Bayonetta Origins.
Yeah, which if you've been following my channel and you watched me play Bayonetta 3, I played the teaser demo that was on there for Bayonetta Origins, which I immediately really fell in love with. From the art style and from the little bit of gameplay that you get, that we got to see from it already.
Yeah. So I've recently started playing Bayonetta 3, and then I played the little Origins teaser, because they also changed how you get to the teaser in an update.
Yeah.
And I think base Bayonetta 3 looks really dull, kind of grainy, and meanwhile Bayonetta Origins looks really fucking lovely.
And they gave it a really nice clean touch, because with base 3 they kind of, sort of, but also not 100%, I feel like, went with how the Bayonetta games looked beforehand. Oh man, you still had that thing.
I don't know, I think...
And I mean, what they also lost with it, because everything looks way too clean, because all of the enemies are just the homunculi. And I don't know, even though the enemy design in a way is still really creative, they all just look kind of samey over the time. It's not the same fun thing in enemy design as it was with like the angels and demons in Bayonetta 2.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that Bayonetta 3 looks clean. To me it looks kind of grainy and dull, and like they tried to go more realistic but it kind of failed. I think style-wise I prefer 1 and 2.
I mean, I really love 2. I think in 1 they really had a strong start. They saw what they wanted to go with and how the overall gist of it should look.
What 1 in hindsight looks very peak Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, but it still has a style going to it.
Yeah. And it's still like a fun introduction to the whole series. The very first thing that happens in the very first cutscene is such a strong introduction to oh yeah, that is what's gonna go down in this game, and you're gonna be there for it. Yeah. And if you do not like it, then you will stop playing the game right at this point.
I think they got that from Devil May Cry 3.
Yeah, pretty much. Which also starts kind of the way. If you don't take the very first thing that is more you just see them fighting on top of the tower, and with Virgil piercing Dante through his stomach, which is not a spoiler because it literally happens in the opening cutscene, so don't at me.
Yeah.
And
at some point...
excuse me.
Speaking of Devil May Cry 3, at some point I should replay that game because I had a lot of fun playing it. It's also very stupid, but in the funny kind of way.
He wasn't a little bit too much for me, but other than that, I really enjoyed it. Not enjoyed it. I'm not done with the game yet.
To be honest, I think Devil May Cry 3 was the game where Dante got his wacky woohoo pizza man reputation in the fan base.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where that came from.
And then 4 went more in it. I think I think 5 maybe pulls it back a little bit with him being so irreverent, but yeah.
But overall, I had fun with it. It's a little bit clunky, but that might just be because I'm playing the original control scheme.
Oh, you haven't changed to freestyle mode?
No, I'm not. I decided to just commit on that and be sad about the fact that I cannot switch on the fly. I'm enjoying the game the way it used to be enjoyed, but I might come back to that game on my own and enjoy it in a more modern way.
Yeah, I think I remember recommending to you that you should switch over to freestyle mode, especially since you've played Devil May Cry 4 before.
Yeah.
And freestyle mode makes Dante just play like in Devil May Cry 4 with style changing on the fly, not being tied to the save statues. Oh, it's over, oops.
Yeah, that was really fast over. But yeah, I think if I jump back into the game by myself, I definitely gonna choose freestyle.
Yeah.
But anyway, we technically were at Bayonetta, and then Dante just wiggled his way in there like woohoo!
As he do.
Which is very fitting for Devil May Cry 3, I wanna say.
Yeah.
Which is a mix of Dante being a complete badass and just showing up. Early 90s cliches like there's the Matrix, there's slow motion action going on, which is really prevalent and a little bit obnoxious at this point.
I mean,
but
it
probably only obnoxious because it is such an overdone thing, which by the time that game came out was not as overdone.
Yeah.
But looking at it now, it's like, I see why they did it, and probably back then when they did it, it was not as obnoxious, but please just stop. But yeah, except for being complete badass, having cool action scenes, Dante is also a lot of woohoo. Which kind of ruins sometimes the mood for me in some of the cutscenes where it's like, oh, this is really cool, and then it starts and goes woohoo, and I'm like, and you ruined the moment for me, Dante, congrats. But hey, it's a product of its time.
And that's why we like Dante.
Because he's unapologetically woohoo.
Yes.
But yeah, there's a demo coming out for, or is it out already?
The demo for Bayonetta Origins is already out.
Ah.
I haven't played it yet because I want to play it the day before the full game comes out. Because it's one of those demos where you can carry over your save file into the full game.
Oh, interesting.
Square Enix loves to do these kinds of demos for the RPGs like Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy, I think.
Triangle Strategy, you mean?
So you can play the demo and wow. And if you like it, you can then just carry over everything you've did in the demo to the full game, which I think is really cool.
It's a nice touch, a nice idea to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that way you actually have an incentive to go into the demo and play it. Which I so far only did with Splatoon 3. Where I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna jump in there because I wanted to take part in the very first Splatfest immediately. I wanted to be like, yeah, no, that's part of my branding now. I have Splatoon. I have my inkling.
I think DK's fireball just destroyed my red shell.
Well, good shot, DK.
Or whoever shot the fireballs.
Why so many red shells? But anyway, whoever fucked, stop it.
Guess you're gonna feel shell-shocked after that.
I'm a little bit. For crying out loud! How dare you? But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Bayonetta Origins.
Yeah, same here.
Seeing how this whole thing turns out, because
it's a prequel.
It's a prequel. What I've seen already is that Cheshire is in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean like Luca, who might also be in that game. I do not know that, but I mean Cheshire as in...
the demon.
The demon, yeah. Which Luca can... Oh yeah? But Luca cannot be in that game.
Maybe in a flash forward.
But that's the only thing, because from Bayonetta 1 what we know is that Luca sees Bayonetta the first time when he was a kid and she already was an adult. So, since we're playing as Cereza or Bayonetta. Don't know how that's gonna be relevant, explained, whatever. I'm pretty sure, as a child, I'm pretty sure I would not see Luca in that as like a main character.
Probably not.
Like at tops we see
Shit.
a version of like what happened, how you got to be in the thing in the water or whatever's going on in Bayonetta 1 with Luca and everything. And see something like that, you can and explain that a little bit. There is a question mark cloud flying around.
Yeah, and if you hit it, this like little cricket appears.
That's nice. Thanks for doing that for me. Whoever did that, because I clearly was not hitting it, because I was like, there's a thing flying around, how about not touch?
I did it, it was me.
Bonk, by the way. I hate you. And yeah, since I kinda hinted at it, of course we're gonna play Bayonetta Origins once it comes out, because heck, I've played through all the Bayonetta games, and screw you, DK. Since I played the teaser demo on Bayonetta 3, I'm definitely gonna play Origins, because that already played like a lot of fun. I really love the creative art style, and I mean,
I'm pretty sure Bayonetta Origins is gonna look way better in a couple of years than Bayonetta 3 is.
Which is fun, because I feel like Bayonetta 1 and 2 really held up nicely over the time.
Yeah, they did, especially 2. I think Bayonetta 2 is like a riot of colors.
Yeah, because they did so much with like the normal world in Bayonetta 2, and also the demon realm. What was it called? Inferno.
Inferno, yeah.
And yeah, just they really did some cool design in Bayonetta 2 with everything, and yeah, that's why Bayonetta 2 really just is such a fun game, because I landed on Mario and spun out. That's all I wanted to say about that. But it's just such a fun game. Maybe I should replay that at one point as well. Because I started replaying Bayonetta 1 at one point, and I thought about trying to 100% it, which tough.
Yeah.
Because try to find all of the things without a guide, which I kind of sat down and tried to do. So yeah.
It's the Yoshi's Island wrestles theme.
Oh yeah! I'm getting flashbacks! And we haven't even tried to 100% that game. That was a fun series.
It was.
That was right around the time when we started doing like regular uploads for the channel. Like when there was something coming out every week. Which I want to come back to, but we need to prep for that. There needs to be some prep happening, because we just can't sit down regularly just to record for a week. Which would be fun though, if we could do that. Anyway, we're gonna jump in.
With versus mode, so we can customize the items.
Yeah. Wait, is that active? It shouldn't be. It's not. So we're gonna get ourselves
50, no teams, custom items, maybe normal computer.
Sure. And what will we get? That seems pretty lame. So shells, banana, star, mushroom, lightning,
and boo.
Boo and a coin. Yeah, why not? That seems like it's gonna be frustrating with people getting boos left and right and stealing boos from each other. Can you steal a boo?
I don't think so.
All boo run. That would be an interesting race. You have boos and blue shells. That's all you have. Let's see how insane that would go. But yeah, anyway, since we are basically done with our topic about Bayonetta here, let's jump into the next topic, the Mario movie.
Yeah,
some new trailers and everything.
The final trailer.
Yeah.
And it looks really good.
It looks good. I watched the final trailer in German, and I have to say, I don't mind the German voice for Mario too much.
I think the German voice cast sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I really like the voice for Peach. Bowser also does an actually rather good job.
I think Bowser's German voice actor in the Mario movie is actually Jack Black's
German voice actor.
German voice actor.
Which is something that's probably fun and wild to people to say something like this, but I mean, movies get dubbed over in different languages, and we have designated voice actors for certain actors. Like there is Bruce Willis has
a very distinctive German voice actor. In pretty much every movie he's in.
So much so that when you hear like radio ads with that voice actor, I
always imagine Bruce Willis
you
saying
immediately go to that is Bruce Willis trying to sell me Colgate. Let's say I don't know what actually the ads are that the voice actor does in that case, but you hear that voice and it's like immediately like, oh, that's that actor, even though they might not have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
But you just associate that tone, that voice so much with them.
It would have been funny if one of the voice actors for the Mario movie is Bruce Willis's German voice actor, even though Bruce Willis himself doesn't voice anyone in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that you could look up and find out, so that we would know that that's fun. That they might actually be in there, but just not do the voice that they do for Bruce Willis, because there's a lot of voice actors that actually do multiple voices. And I'm pretty sure Bruce Willis's voice actor, whoever the person is, names, probably does a lot of different voices as well that are really well known to us, but you just most likely associate them with, that's Bruce Willis. Which is so fun because their voices are so stark contrasted, because if you hear like Bruce Willis and the voice actor that we have, you would not guess that fits together that way it does.
I don't think I've ever heard his English voice.
You should check it out and be like, that's not his voice, is it? Because I had that the first time I heard Bruce Willis's real voice, and I was like, but that's not what I thought he sounded like. Which isn't a bad thing, it's just funny that way, because there's like a voice association that you have with a certain actor, and you just grow up with something completely different than they actually sound like. And when you then go out of your way and try to find out how they actually sound like, it's like such like a weird kind of whiplash. Like, no, I know what that person sounds like, but that's their real voice, and they don't sound like anything I thought they would sound like, so that's kind of weird. So that's just a really, really fun thing. And I don't know, I mean, I think the most like English-speaking people can, I'm kind of getting screwed. The most English people kind of can probably relate to that is like with, if they watch like, first of all, foreign movies that are not made in America or English speaking, and they watch them with just subtitles, or they watch like, which probably is the biggest gateway for a lot of people in that case, like anime in Japanese with the subtitles, and then you listen to like the English dub, or in our case it's a bit German dub, and you be like, no, that sounds way too alien, that's not correct.
Oh, I've had that when I watched the cutscenes from Xenoblade 1 in Japanese. Everyone sounds wrong.
I never did that.
Dunban sounds super wrong, as does Elvis. In Japanese, I mean. I'm so used to their
British voices.
I'm so used to the British voices, and then I heard...
Can this blind things please stop?
And then I watched the cutscenes with the Japanese dub, and I was like, are you sure that's Dunban and Elvis?
Interesting, that's something I need to check out, because that sounds kind of hilarious and disconcerting. But there was a wiggle all of a sudden on the road.
But Shulk also kind of has a very different vibe with the with the Japanese voice acting.
Yeah. It's so interesting to just kind of go for different voices, especially voices that you really know by heart, and then you go to like a different language and hear them in their like original voice that they are supposed to have, and then you're there like, but no, that's not them. Who that? Who that boy? That not done them.
So something related to that would also be the Japanese voice acting for Button Kato's 1, because the English voice acting has been criticized over the years for sounding kind of poorly done. And then,
but that's the only one that I know.
Yeah, I know. And that I've watched some Japanese cutscenes recently, and I was like, wow, everything sounds a lot more professional.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine that. Yeah, that's kind of the fun thing with voice actings.
Especially because back when I first played Button Kaitos 1,
which is a long time ago, by the way.
Which is a long time ago. I was like, oh, this is just how these people sound like.
Yeah, that's just their voice acting.
Because like at the time I wasn't like, oh, these characters. These people are bad voice actors, or they got bad voice direction. I was just like, yeah, that's just how these people happen to sound like.
That's the voice acting. That's how they sound.
Just like how in reality, every person has like a different voice, and they just sound different. Some people just sound like that.
Yeah, I definitely had some people the pleasure to like work. Well, I cannot get anything but coins game, please. Well, jumping that gap while being tiny is actually kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely had some people that sounded like bad voiced over characters in a sitcom or something, where like, you sure you sound like that? Sure, okay.
I mean, I get why you want like really good, really perfect sounding voice acting, but
it's not what you're gonna get every time.
Yeah, but sometimes it makes it sound a bit too clean, I feel like. I know when Konami made HD re-releases of Silent Hill 2 and 3, I think, they've replaced the voice actors from the original PlayStation 2 versions with new quote-unquote better ones for the HD remaster, and there were actually some people arguing that the redone better voice acting kinda doesn't work to the game's vibes, because it makes the characters feel like too professional or something, even though the main protagonist is supposed to be like this completely normal dude who is way in over his head.
Yeah. But sometimes just the fact that something is done like poorly or like unprofessional helps sell the illusion of something being like not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another question that I want to ask regarding of the Mario movie. Are you gonna watch it in the movie, the theaters?
I'm still thinking about it, because I wanna watch the movie, but I don't know if I wanna go into a movie theater for it.
I mean, there's the one thing that I can say about that is there's very likely a lot of people in our age range that will go and view the movie. So it's not gonna be like a situation where you will be like the only adult being alone there while everyone else is there with their kids, because Mario is something that we grew up with, and of course when there's a movie that's coming out about Mario, there's gonna be a lot of Mario game fans that wanna go and wanna watch the movie.
It's a very all ages franchise.
Yeah, so I hope they actually reflect it a little bit in the movie as well, and not make it too like kid heavy, because yes, it is Nintendo, and they most likely made it more focused on the kids side, which is fair. It is a movie made by Illuminations, but they should also keep in mind who the people are that grew up with Mario and that are kind of in the interest of seeing a movie about a character that they grew up with. So that they don't just make it too childish, but also give you a little bit of interesting food for thoughts for like the adult viewers in the audience. Without being too serious, which honestly, them casting Jack Black as Bowser, I cannot see as being too serious in the long run. Especially since I saw a screenshot of Bowser playing a piano. So I cannot see that as being too serious. And at the same time,
what if that's the scary piano from Mario 64?
Oh, that would explain so much. But shouldn't King Boo have that in that case?
No.
Ah, I screwed up. I thought for a moment something was peeing in the water here. But yeah, I'm curious, because if you say you want to go and watch the movie, I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm gonna watch it with you.
Okay.
And then we go home and we sit down together and make Mario Kart podcast again and talk about what we've just seen and how we feel about it, without giving spoilers away, because that would be rude. Even though the podcast probably comes out like a week after we've seen the movie or more. The music is so fucked up right now.
As it happens whenever you get lightning.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to watch the movie, which will be expensive because movie theaters, yeah, I'm down for that.
Well, let's see.
Maybe we even can ask Plot if he wants to see it. Then we can have a bigger podcast with a first guest ever. Which I don't know how we're gonna do that with the green screen then. Maybe I'm just gonna have to ditch the green screen in that case. Also, I had for a moment the thought about putting that actually up on like podcast sites and something, and I was like, would that be hilarious or not? I'm gonna leave that option open though, but maybe or maybe not, I'm gonna put that up on podcast sites as well at one point. Which means you're only gonna have the audio from Mario Kart, which I don't know how fun that will be.
Probably not.
But yeah.
Same score.
Amazing! I did not focus a lot on what was going on there. The cool new stages, I want to point that out. Really fun.
I like the Yoshi's Island stage the most out of the one stage.
Especially with the nice touch of the Yoshi's Island like victory level clear jingle going on. That's such a nice touch and such a cool idea. But yeah, that was fun talking about these things. Really looking forward to Bayonetta Origins, really.
It's coming out on the 17th, I think.
I think it was 17th. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, once I have a slot free on the channel again, Bayonetta Origins will hit the channel like a truck. And yeah, look forward to maybe or maybe not a Mario Kart podcast regarding the Mario movie, which also has Mario Kart in it.
Yeah.
And the Rainbow Road.
I mean, considering how this fucking game is like the best-selling Switch game ever, it makes sense that...
It was kind of a no-brainer to put that in there.
It makes sense to also make a Mario Kart part for the movie.
Yeah. But, yeah.
But also I like how they don't seem to just reference the newer games and like the original Super Mario Bros. For the movie. They go across the entire series.
Yeah, and then they give us stuff that we've never seen before, like Donkey Kong with fire powers.
Oh, that was really cool.
That's like a thing where I'm like, cool. Can we have that?
That would be really cool to have.
Oh, and Chunky. Chunky Kong is also in the movie.
Yeah, from Donkey Kong 64. Which I actually got on the Wii U Virtual Console. I should play that game at some point.
And then there's Chunky. He's dead. Maybe we play that? Maybe for a one-off. I don't know if I want to play through the full-on game.
Yeah, especially since Donkey Kong Country 64 is pretty infamous for being like Rareware's collectathon in Overdrive to its detriment.
Maybe we make like a one-off of that game, because it would be interesting to show it off, but I don't think, because I sat down and watched Nintendo Capri Sun playthrough of Donkey Kong 64, and that already was sometimes hard to stomach of just watching how the game controls and everything. So maybe we make a one-off of that, just showing it off, because it is history of Donkey Kong and interesting. But I'm not sure I could stomach playing the whole game.
Yeah. Speaking of Rareware, I should play through Banjo-Kazooie at some point, but at this point I'm like, but I'm probably going to not like it, especially since so many people hyped it up over the years, and so many people said like, it's way better than Mario 64, and I like Mario 64, and I'm pretty sure if I played Banjo-Kazooie I'm probably gonna have fun, but I'm expecting to come away from it being kinda underwhelmed. Especially since so many people are like, this is the best 3D platformer ever made or something.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll dip our toes into that one as well at one point.
Maybe.
Anyway, hope you enjoyed that podcast, and see you next time for more shenanigans. Bye.
Bye.